Hi, my name is Dave McVety, and I just wanted to make this video quickly of an image that has helped me tremendously in my understanding of pornography addiction and sex addiction, even other addictions if you wanted to apply it to that as well. But I was looking at this website called yourbrainonporn.com, and he gave this image of a field. So you've got point A and point B, and on one corner of the field is point A, and that's where we live life, and point B is up here where the dopamine is, where you get that sense of excitement, happiness, pleasure, whatever it is you want to call it. And when it comes to porn, what we do is, and I'll draw you this right here is the field, is we like to cheat. Okay, when it comes to porn and things like that, what we've done is we've worn a path through the cornfield. We've gone over and over and over, and we dug through the path, dug through all the corn, and made this path that's the path of least resistance. Okay? It's not the way it was designed. It's not the way we're supposed to do it. What we're supposed to be doing is going around the field. Yes, it takes a little more work, but it's so much more fulfilling when we do that, right? So this is the element of addiction that really brought it to life for me, and this is why too. Because I thought to myself, well, if I've got a problem, it's at the source. Because honestly, once you've stepped onto this path, it's a lost cause, right? Once you've begun the process of walking on that path, good luck getting off of it. You're surrounded on all sides by corn. You can't get off the path again. You got to go back and backtrack. It just feels way easier to move forward. So avoiding stepping on the beginning of this path was key. So I thought, okay, I'll put a fence up here. Whether that means filters, canceling cable, being accountable, whatever it is that helps me say no at that point before I get on the path. But here's what was happening. Particularly in the early stages, I'd start the process of going along here, and then I would get distracted. I wouldn't be looking forward and continuing to move forward. Because I'm so excited about point B up here, I begin to look at point B and get distracted with my shortcut. So I would grind a new path through the corn at that point to the shortcut. So that, okay, that didn't work, that's not good. Now I get so discouraged I didn't want to move forward. But then I began to realize, I'll just put a new fence up. There's a fence there now. Okay? And progressively I began to look forward and say, okay, now I know how to recognize when I might be distracted by something. When I need to put a fence up before it's an issue. Okay? So I'd be here on the path, and I would say, okay, you know what, I know the potential of, say, this app on the phone, or this TV show, movie, whatever it might be, program on the computer, can run the risk of me wanting to jump onto that shortcut again. So what I would do was I'd put up a fence, make a decision not to download the app or go watch that movie, because I knew where that would lead. And so over time, I began to become familiar enough with my mind that that wouldn't be where I would head. So I would go, and I was already prepared. I was already safeguarded. Everything was taken care of, accountability and all these things. So the fence was up. And so this can be a long process of recovery from addiction, but particularly porn and sexual addiction. And so what we begin to see is why with this image. Because learning about ourselves, restructuring our brains so that the neurological pathways are done properly, with a little bit of delayed gratification but more fulfillment, takes effort. But more effort is found in becoming so self-aware that we recognize rather than stumble back onto the path that is worn out for us. The ridiculous part of addiction is this. Sometimes we even get so far down the path, okay, that we're here. We see the goal, but we get so distracted that we lose sight of the goal and jump back on to the well-worn addiction path. So suddenly it's easier to go this way, and I'm jumping back down to there. What sense does that make? It's twice the distance almost, and yet we do it. So this is how it works, and this image really clarified it for me and launched me into a different degree of understanding as well as freedom and encouragement in understanding that it isn't something that should be healed overnight. It's not just because I made a bad decision It's because of these hormones and structures in my brain that are working that I need to retrain and restructure. So take this for what it is. If it helps you, fantastic. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because I believe that there's perfect, pure freedom from this, because God's blessed us with His Holy Spirit, and He'll do this in us. So may you be blessed. May His Holy Spirit begin the process of renewing your mind, restructuring pathways in there, and helping you recognize where you need to put those fences up to be free from these issues. Thank you, and be blessed.